All right. Good morning. We are in Rocheport today. This is all the typical stuff that's on the backside over here. Shows the whole trail from Clinton to St. Charles. Shows a couple of the mile marker stuff. Some of the stuff that we'll see today. That Pearson silo. We'll check that out today. Showing some of the stuff going back towards Columbia that where they used to store the explosive for the train tunnel. And shows the old Lewis and Clark historic trail. There's a bunch of markers along the way out there. Let's see. Boone County. This was that stuff about Patton Ted Jones. Some more stuff about Patton Ted Jones. Today we are going to be going to Boonville. It's about 14 miles from here. Go Cougar's Landing. Ouch. All right, away we go. I'm starting off this morning with 3,127 miles.
Morning.
Morning. Away we go. Whew. You guys seen part of this before because we came out here to the train tunnel. That is a bed and breakfast. It's an old train car. I can hear a train. The newer train tracks, the more modern stuff is on the other side of the river. I don't know all the politics behind where train tracks go and stuff like that. You know, like why this was shut down and that track over there was built and used instead of this. I don't know. No idea. I do know in history, and I don't know if some of that signs back there talk about it or if it was some stuff I looked up online. A long time ago, train tracks were pretty heavily fought over, you know, between the people building them and the people operating them and the people that owned them. It's some rough stuff. this house over here we passed on a left is for sale. Always thought that would be pretty cool to live like right next to the trail like this. There's a little nature walk thing. You can go back that way. It's pretty cool. Oh, it's so cool. You can feel the temperature difference. It drops like a good 10 degrees coming into the tunnel. Morning. Morning. There's a lot of these recycled plastic type benches that are, a lot of them have tags on them that say they were donated by such and such in remembrance of so and so. They're a nice spot to be able to stop and rest for a second. Some of them are in locations that have just really good scenic views. I think all the mulberries are gone for the year. I've still got some in my backyard, but they're starting to be slim pickings. That was fun going out to Hartsburg last trip. I was excited to see that that little snack shack was open. I mean, again, I wouldn't mind living in Hartsburg. There's a lot of these small little towns that are, there's just these nice, quiet little places. When I first got to Rocheport and I was dropping my bike off, there was a guy that saw me, older gentleman, came over and was asking me questions about my bike. That's what I was telling him. I was like, stop and listen for a minute. I was like, you don't hear traffic, you don't hear police sirens, you don't hear car stereo music or anything. I mean, it's just a very quiet, peaceful town. Cool little cave up there. I'm hoping to point the camera right direction where we see those. I could literally come out here and make these same videos 4 months from now and all this would look different. Again. I don't know what those things are called. Now the trails going in towards town, I've seen speed limits on those trails for 15. Out here close to the river like this, I've honestly never seen any speed signs. I wouldn't say that people do ridiculous speeds out here, but I've definitely run into a few people trekking a good 18, 20 miles an hour. I myself am doing 16 right now. farm property over there. There's lots of farm property along the trails. Looks like it's probably the backside of somebody's property, I guess. Little old ass outhouse over there in the corner. I would not be surprised with the stuff you could find in the woods out here. Like, in all seriousness, all these little towns. There's a cave. Stop and look at that cave for a second. Because of just the age of these areas, I mean, people have been stomping around here since, the 1800s. Easy. A lot of these towns were established in the 1800s. Whoops, dropped my glasses. It's definitely something you could get up in there and have shelter. That's for sure. I always see stuff like that and wonder how much Indian activity areas like that might have had back in the day. A lot of this trip here could be new for me. I have not been past this Pearson's grain silo. telegraph pole. I see lots of those telegraph poles out here. Very, 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 very rare do I still see an insulator on them. Something smells good. Oh yeah. We had some really bad flooding around this area in 2019, and this bridge is destroyed. They had to rebuild this bridge up here, completely redo it because of that. I think if you still look at Google Maps, I don't think it's updated. I think Google Maps still shows pictures of that bridge being in ruins. We're about halfway to Pearson's silo. This is about the 3-mile mark. There's some hiking trails back in here. I've never been out this way, but I've looked at it on Google Maps. That's an area back there where you can park and go hiking. I think there's 4 or 5, maybe 6 miles of a trail loop back there. Morning. Morning. This to me, I went to this last time when I was out here, this area right beside here looks like there used to be a road right there. It's either that or a levee. Get off a small levee if I think it's a levee, but a lot of times I look at a website called Historic Aerials. It takes a minute to kind of figure out how to navigate through some of the features, but it's really cool to go look at specific areas and go look back through all the catalogs of aerial photography. And you can see the buildings and the roads that used to be there. And that looks like just a farm road. So I think I said this just in case. I think it's about 14 miles. We'll see for sure when we get there. Riding past all this farm property. It's all that's on both sides of us. In the wintertime, when all the leaves are gone, you can see all this stuff plain as day. I'll definitely make a repeat of these videos. This will probably be the end of this this collection of videos. Hartsburg and or Boonville is probably the furthest I intend on going away from my house at this point. I'm honestly more into getting into wilderness exploration than I am super long distance bike trips. I just wanted to be able to showcase our beautiful trails here and let people from other states see what we got here. And there's some differences. Not all states do things the same. I saw in another state where they really had these barriers that went across the trail to prevent, automotive traffic from inadvertently getting on them. But they make it to where even as a bicyclist, you have to leave the trail and go around these barriers to use the trail, and it looks bad. To watch people trying to use it, I've seen people crash their bikes, and it just didn't look like a good option. It looked like what we have here works way better. It keeps the vehicles off the trails, but at the same time, it doesn't hinder the bicyclists. I don't have to leave the trail to get around barriers. What is that on the trail? In my path. Which is a leaf? What is it? That's going. Squirrel! Alright, we're right at 5 miles. We got about 1 mile left to go to hit the Pearson's silo. I think. I mean, if I remember correctly, it was right at 6 miles. That's my guesstimations. There's a bench right there next to the silo. Corn. Well, that stuff's tall too already. Wow. The rule of thumb that I've heard is knee-high by July with corn. That stuff's a lot higher than knee high, and it ain't July yet. Well, that stuff's already got tassels on it. Wow. On the other side of the field is soybean. I also dabble in painting a little bit. I've come out here on the trail with the purpose of taking pictures of different places, and I go back home and with with studio quality acrylic paints, I try and replicate my pictures. I've done pretty good with some of the artwork. I might make a video showcasing some of my artwork. Like this Pearson's grain silo, I painted a picture of this. I think that's what we're coming up on right here. Yeah, it looks like we're almost right at 6 miles. That's what this stop sign up here is all about. There's a farm road that runs up beside the silo. I don't know when they stopped using this thing. There used to be a general store out here as well. Morning. Pearson's right exactly 6 miles. There's the silo. You can see the views out here, just absolutely amazing. So I think we're gonna call that the end of part 1. Stay tuned for part 2, and we'll check out the silo a little bit before we head on to our next location.